back in their own podcast. Sit back, relax, Still Spinning is here. Still spinning. Still spinning. Still spinning. Still spinning.
Almost everything right, except for the turning on the mic button. I got everything else done. The second we start the intro, I've like 5 or 6 things I have to push. And one of them, the last thing is turn the microphone on. And that's the one that I forgot. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 146 of the Still Spinning podcast. I am Dan. She is Nicole, and we are happy to be back. It's when Nicole and I, it feels weird. We go a long time without talking.
Yep. It's very strange. I was like, God, I haven't talked to Dan in weeks.
Yeah.
And so then we have to call each other.
Yeah. And so, but here we are. So yeah. we're back, and we had a lot go on while we were gone. Nicole, you had an anniversary and a birthday to celebrate. So did I.
You
actually
also had a birthday
and an anniversary to celebrate.
Oh, that's right. Oh God,
Yep.
I didn't even wish you a happy anniversary because it was on your birthday.
It was.
Is that why you got Starbucks free
twice? You want
twice?
to tell everybody? Yeah. You want to tell everybody about that?
What?
About the birthday call or not? Do you care?
Oh, I don't care.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
I talked to you for like an hour.
Yeah, not an hour, but we did talk for a while.
Quite a while. It was a little half
and
hour.
I had no recollection that it was Dan's birthday. I got off the phone, I opened my calendar, and I'm like, oh shit, it's Dan's birthday. And then I texted him, and then I've totally forgot that it's also your wedding anniversary. I'm doing great, everybody. I'm so sorry, Dan. I am a shitty friend.
To be fair, I don't really care that much about
Yeah.
Most people throughout the day, I don't tell them it's my birthday. And then I did at Starbucks because actually they knew at Starbucks because when I first ordered, I got my first drink for free.
Because your birthday.
Because it's my birthday. And when I walked in, everybody knew it. So they're like, hey, so it must show up on their screen that it's, a free birthday drink or something. And so I'm like, hey, everybody, happy birthday. Okay. So I went back later and I had not pre-ordered, and I walked up to the counter, and I never do that. I never fail to pre-order, but this time I just didn't, and walked up to the counter and put in my order, and then turned away and go, nope, it's on the house today. I'm like, I already have my birthday one. He goes, this is your anniversary one then.
Oh, interesting that they have that on there.
They don't. When I was there earlier.
Oh, you had told them?
They knew it was also my birthday and anniversary. So.
I mean, I do know that you got married on your 21st birthday, so I should have remembered 20th birthday. Because then Jenny became your legal guardian.
Right.
In the state of Wisconsin, that's a thing. But you got married in Illinois, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. But in Wisconsin, she would have been your legal guardian. You could have gone to bars.
Let's be honest. She still is my legal guardian.
That's true.
There's.
But yes, I totally dropped the birthday ball and the anniversary ball.
Didn't bother me as much as you'd think it would. I know some people are super crazy about their birthday, and how it's everybody's got to drop everything to it. I mean, there are people who think they should not have to work on their birthday. It's that big of a deal.
I mean, I've taken my birthday off, not because I feel like I don't have to work, but just I just don't want to.
If you take it off, that's fine. But people think that, have I told you that story about that person that we worked with that just was flabbergasted? She did not automatically get her birthday off.
I have an idea of who that is. We'll talk later.
She just had no clue. And she's like, well,
really?
It's my birthday. Yeah. Cause we said something about, it'll be on next Tuesday. And she said, well, that's my birthday. And we're like, yeah. And she says, so I've got to come in.
Yeah.
We're
it's
all
not
like,
a
what?
national holiday.
It's wow, how did you just turn 7? And even 7, you still go to school on your birthday.
Right. You brought treats.
Yes. In fact, yes. Not only do you have to come in, you have to bring stuff to us because it's your birthday. So yes.
I mean, I am very regularly glad that I grew up in the 80s.
I know. I think we're the last ones.
Oh God. I could not imagine having to deal with the birthday treat situation now with all the dietary restrictions and the allergies. I get it.
You got to bring.
I just don't understand how so many more people are allergic now than when
No
we were
peanut butter
kids.
on anything. Don't bring
No,
anything with
God,
peanut
no.
butter. Don't bring anything. Well, now is this soy milk or is this oat milk
Yeah,
or is it? Yeah, I think we maybe the generation after us, maybe the 40, the 45, maybe 42 to 45, maybe they snuck
Mhm.
by. But it is bubble wrap and warning
Ugh.
signs for every generation after that. And sorry, it's so terrifying to watch.
Oh yeah, we just did a show last week, a private comedy sports show, and it was for a like a gifted school. It was all their 8th graders. Man, these kids do not know how to watch live anything. They are so awkward. They're just like staring at the floor. They won't make eye contact with you, or they're the opposite, where they are just balls out crazy. We had one girl come up and she was an audience volunteer, and at one point it was like, we're gonna have to stop her from running around the stage because she's gonna get hurt. She was just, it was just really sad. It really just made my heart hurt. But now I feel really, really bad that not only did I forget your birthday when we first talked, that I never remembered your anniversary. So I apologize.
You know what? It was close to your anniversary, so you were busy.
Yeah. No, my brain's just been very preoccupied with lots of things.
That's fair. That's
So,
fair. It's totally fine. You don't have to remember my anniversary. In fact, the reason I got married on my birthday was so I would remember my anniversary. Yes.
Very smart. But yes, you had stuff. I had stuff. And now we're back.
Now we don't have stuff anymore. So here we are.
No,
we're
we
unstuffed.
do. They just don't be on Mondays. They don't happen to fall on a Monday.
They don't be on Mondays.
They don't. I know. I heard it. See, that's what I'm saying. Honestly, my brain is shutting down.
All right.
I'm a little concerned about it. One of the things we did during the time we were not here, we have Broadway and Chicago tickets, season tickets.
Is this topic 1?
This is topic 1. Bing, 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 bing.
7 minutes in, topic 1.
Yep, that sounds right. I
Yep.
mean, to be fair, we've been gone for like 3 weeks, so we
Right.
have to do a little catch up. And
Yeah.
I have to now feel terrible for the rest of the night for forgetting your birthday and anniversary. Happy anniversary, Jenny. My apologies.
Okay.
So we go on Thursday nights. That's our main night. But this past couple weeks have been just insanely busy, and we had to move our tickets to a Saturday show. So 2 weeks ago Saturday, we went and saw Spam-A-Lot because it was a show we really wanted to see. Sometimes we'll give our tickets away to friends or whatever, but we really wanted to see Spam-A-Lot. So we went to a matinee. It was great. Have you seen Spam-A-Lot?
I've not wanted to.
Yeah, it's real fun. I think it could have been like 15 minutes shorter, but it was very fun. It's all the Monty Python movies basically kind of pushed together.
So I never got, like, all of my friends, everybody,
Sure,
I know
kids.
all of the references from
Mhm.
Monty Python. I just don't know. I've seen the Holy Grail.
Sure.
I've seen that through.
Yep.
But that's really the only one. There's the Life of Brian.
Mhm.
There's a couple more.
Yeah.
I know so many of the references, but I don't know I couldn't like tell you the actual scenes around those references.
And it wouldn't have mattered for this because of how they did the show, because it kind of was a montage of all the movies. And it was very fun and the very talented actors. But we went to a matinee, which we also don't usually do because we're usually Thursday nights. So I had gotten a gift card from someone who I helped find you to do trivia for a wedding.
Yep.
So they sent me a gift card. So we went to Shaw's Crab House afterwards. So we went for like a dinner. And speaking of weird, this would have been 2 days before our anniversary. And at the end of the meal, the server's like brings over dessert and he's like, "Happy anniversary." Both Paul and I like, how do you know it's our anniversary? First off, it's not. But how do you know our anniversary is in 2 days? Because we were not celebrating our anniversary.
I know how.
It's open table. It apparently was in my open table and I didn't realize it. But we weren't celebrating. It was 2 days away. Like, you don't think we're going out on our anniversary? Anyway, when we first got there, we had made a reservation in they have like the main dining room, which is a little fancier. And then they have, what do they call it? Like a lounge basically, but it's real cool. It's almost like a 50s diner kind of vibe.
Right.
It honestly reminded me of the oyster place we were just at in New York City in the Grand Central Station terminal. Like lots of subway tile and just kind of that cool vibe. Our table was a 4-top. There were just 2 of us. And then there was like maybe a 6-inch space, and then there was a two-top sitting there. So we sat on the opposite side of the table, so there were 2 seats in between us. And we sit down, and they had put their extra plates, because they have like the little side plates just sitting on the table. They had put their extra plates on our table before we got there. So the guy grabs them, it was a couple. The guy grabs them to put them back on his table. And Paul's like, oh no, that's fine. Don't worry about it. So he put them back on, and the door was opened.
I would have done that.
Well, little did we
Why didn't the
know.
waiter just come and take them? Like, if the waiter walked by and saw them on there, the waiter should have come by and take them.
He did it. That's a whole other thing. So they get they are obviously there before us. They get their food first, and they're doing like a lot of eating with their hands kind of foods, like crawfish and just lobster and crab legs. And the dude takes his napkin, wipes his hands and his mouth, and sets it on our table. And I was in shock. And I'm just staring at it, and I'm looking at him, and I'm staring at the napkin. And the entire meal, he keeps picking it up, mopping and I mean, it was disgusting. It was a disgusting napkin. Not that it couldn't have been, because he's wiping his mouth and his hands. So early on in this, our waiter comes over, and I say, excuse me, can you please take his dirty napkin off our table? And so he goes over to grab it, and the guy, the diner, grabs it, like looks at the server. He's like, I'm using that. And then like continues to use it and put it back on our table. I couldn't concentrate on whatever the conversation was. This is one of those rare moments where I was the irate one, where I was like, I'm ready to go over the top. I'm ready to fucking throw down. Like, let's go. This is disgusting. I couldn't concentrate. And Paul was calming me down. And he pointed out, he's like,
That's
this is
weird.
a real role reversal here.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And you remember it when I am calming you down for various reasons. Like, you remember this, that I understand you're doing it for a reason, but also this is some BS. Get your gross thing off our table.
So I have 3 things. Number 1, you did open the door to that. Paul did open the door to that. Paul opened the door to that when he said, no, don't worry about it. That's gross. You don't need That's their extra plates. You don't want that on your table either.
Well,
like,
they
that
were
shouldn't
new
be...
at least. They hadn't eaten off of them. They were just like the extras that just sit on the table. But I agree. The door had been opened.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize
they were the... You know how they'll have sometimes just have like a stack of them, and then there they have a little bucket too that you put like your crab shells or whatever in. So all of that was on our table.
Why would somebody do that to begin with? Okay,
Because
like
they ordered a lot.
Yeah, but still, you're sitting down at your table. You keep your crap on your table.
Yes, I completely agree. Or you ask the server to take it away.
Even if there's nobody sitting at the table next to you, at some point there will be. You don't put your crap on somebody else's table. And then, dear Lord, when somebody sits down at that table and they go, oh, don't worry about it. No, it is not okay to have your crap on somebody else's table. So no, we're putting it back on our table. And then who would ever even think to put their nasty face wiped napkin on somebody else's table? That's just so gross. I can't even begin to.
So gross. It was gross pre-COVID. It's real gross now.
Yeah. Well, right. I mean, yeah, sure. Fair.
Yeah.
But still gross. Period. End of story. That's gross 15 years ago too.
Yes. It was really awful. And I didn't say anything because I was told not to, but boy, howdy, I was not happy about it. So when they finally left, I had the server take it off. And I'm kind of pissed that our server didn't say something to him, because I asked early on, like, can you please ask him to take his napkin off?
Yeah.
And he watched him do it and then set it back down.
They should have jumped in and realized what you're asking there, right?
Yeah.
Not just like, not now. I don't. And then the second you see him put it back on, they go, oh, no, sir, I'm taking this off of their table and putting it on your, like that should have been a hint to the guy, right? Like
100%.
That's just, and those plates should have been moved too. For like, as soon as the guy realized what's going on there, they should have moved the crap off your table.
Let me tell you, there were not enough drinks to get me through the irateness of that.
I just got finished reading a book called Unreasonable Hospitality by a guy named Will Gardera. I don't know how to say his name. He was the executive chef of 11 Madison Park in New York, which this book was the story of, and let me take a step back. I don't give two rats about food and food preparation and restaurants. I'm not a foodie. I laugh every time I hear somebody go, yes, chef, no chef. Like this is like some military commander. Like every chef show, I can't stand the chef. I'm like, who in the, all you're doing is cooking food. Shut up.
Ha!
Like every single one of them. Anthony Bourdain, all of the shows were somehow, and I understand I'm in the minority here because they're pretty popular shows. I cannot for the life of me understand how anyone gives a half a rip about a chef and who, like, I just can't. Now granted, I had hot dogs for lunch today. So
I was going to say, I had a hot dog for dinner, Dan.
Did you?
Yeah, I really did. I love hot dogs, but you also have a very limited palate.
I do, and I don't care. So, right. That all being said, I read and so it was the story of how he got into the business and how this particular restaurant became the #1 restaurant in the world, like in the top, when they do the things. And, he talked about how, nervous you get when the food reviewer comes in and all this kind of stuff, and how the New York Times food critic is like the god at every restaurant. And when they're coming to one of your friends' restaurants, you tell them, and they rehearse for days when they think a food critic might be coming to their restaurant. It is it's stuff I didn't think about. I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting. But the reason I read the book it's called Unreasonable Hospitality, and it's more of a business book. Like, how do you go well above and beyond what what the person thinks, right? So this company had like what they call, I think, dream makers. So if you were coming in, they would go research you on Facebook or your socials, and they would learn about you, and they would learn what you like and the things you like to do. And if like you're in town and you're like, all I want is a New York City hot dog, they would go out down the street and buy a New York City hot dog and have it for you in the restaurant. Or if you basically, they would stalk you. They had somebody whose job it was to go research you on Facebook. Yeah. So they know everything about you before you get there. And they would print pictures. So when you walked in, they would go, "Oh, hello, Nicole, welcome." And you're like, how in the hell do you know? Because they looked you up, and they went over this. Okay, coming in between 6 and 6:30 today. Here are the people. Here are the names. Here are the, so it's super uber creepy. And I was going to tell you, that's how I think they knew who you were. But it might also be in your open table profile. So
I'm pretty sure it was, but maybe there's actually in The Bear, there's one of the side episodes. That's a big part of it, is he works at, one of the guys on the show works at this other fancy restaurant in Chicago to like learn some things. And it's very much that kind of place. Like, he overhears them saying they want a deep dish. So they run out and get a deep dish and like make it all
I wonder if
fancy.
That's taken from that book.
I bet it was.
Anyway, so it was, and the other thing is, a lot of these restaurants, you don't get to decide what you eat.
What do you mean? Like,
you walk in and you go, all right, here's what we're having tonight. First course is this, second course is this.
Fixed menu?
And everybody eats at the same time. Like the menu, so you have first, second, and third seating. You're literally the first seating, like, you all will get done, you'll all get out, and then they'll bring the next group in and they'll do the same thing over again. And I'd be so mad if I walked in like, no, here's what you're having tonight.
You usually know, though, when you're going to a place like that, we did that in Scotland for one of our nicer meals to take our friend out for her birthday. And it was one step further. You don't actually see the menu. Like, it's how many courses it is and all of that. And you could do a wine pairing, but you don't see the menu until the end. And at the end, it's like in an envelope on the table for you. And then you can look and see what all you had, which was really cool. But there's a fancy place here. It's called Alinea. And that's what they do, is it's like 10 courses or something. And you don't order off a menu. That's just what you get. But it's also like $500 a person.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
These are, will I ever go?
These are, once a year places that, people go to, right? Like, this is the big anniversary place. And this is the big, in fact, that was a whole section of the books. Like, wait a minute, we got to be open at lunch. We got to make money. Like, how do we make money? In fact, I believe Shake Shack started because of this place.
Oh, was it like their lunch menu?
They had like a burger place across the street. And then, so they eventually sold off they literally put up a shack in the park. And that eventually is what became Shake Shack. So.
Look at that. I mean, something good came out of it, at least.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So you've done everything you're supposed to do, right? You're going on vacation. You've got your hotel booked. You've got your flights. You've got all that. You hopefully not Spirit Airlines, but you go rolling into your town. You're tired. You say, okay, cabbie, here's the address. Take me to this place. And it even may show up in Google. Like it even may show up as an address. And you say, hey, take me to the Pridemore Hotel. And you get in the car. The cabbie says, okay, Pridemore Hotel. And you put it in, boom. And you go there and you get out. And there's no hotel,
What?
or it's a restaurant, or it's a gym. There's no hotel. This is happening. It's called ghost hotels, and thanks to AI,
oh God,
it's become real easy for people to get you to make reservations at hotels that do not exist. And a lot of them are getting you to make reservations at hotels that do exist, but they're craptastic hotels, terrible hotels, except, you know, you ever seen like a third-party booking service, right? Where hotels.com, like for example. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or I mean, if you go search for a hotel, if you do like Hilton Chicago, the first 10 listings are not going to be the Hilton Chicago's listings, right? They're going to be
ads.
Well, they're going to be all these other different companies trying to get you to book through them to stay at the Hilton. Well, some of these companies are using AI to enhance the rooms and enhance the interior of the hotel. So they're actual pictures, but they've used AI to clean everything up. So it's the same, you know, shitty pictures on the website, but but it looks really nice. And then you book it and you show up and it's not there. And yeah. But the worst one is absolutely having no hotel. Well, I don't know. That might have to be the worst.
Well, yeah, right.
It might be worse. You know, I've stayed at some hotels where I'm like, I'd rather just stay in the car.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, this is a new travel scam. So how
do you protect yourself?
Well, now here's the funny thing. Of course, what they're going to say is, well, you just book right through the company website. Right. And then you pay more.
Isn't that what people think they're doing?
Well, no. I think they know that they're booking at like, you know, discounts hotels or whatever, like but the point is there's not a lot you can do about it. Like, in fact, because if you look up, you almost have to Google the hotel. I go to Google Maps, not click a link, but actually like put an address into Google Maps, right? And go see if the hotel is actually there. Now, I will admit that I do that anyway, because I want to see what's around the hotel and I want to see what kind of neighborhood it is.
Sure.
But so I Google map my hotel every time before I book it. But yep, so you're having situations where travelers are paying for their stay in full. They show up at the hotel and there's no record of the reservation. That one's also happening too, where they'll take your reservation. They just don't know how to keep your reservation. I'm sorry.
Wow.
It's a Seinfeld joke. Yeah. So imagine rolling in on like a late flight, like at 11 o'clock at night, and you get there and just your hotel does not exist.
I would most likely have a nervous breakdown.
It involves a lot of this too. The fake call center scam involving AI phone call claiming your flight is canceled, offering to rebook you if you provide your confirmation code and credit card details.
Oh.
And the thing is, because they're using AI, it's not the like broken accent where you like, I can't understand what you're saying. It sounds like you're actually talking to Joe or something. Like you have no idea who you're talking to. In fact, you're not talking to anybody, but they're indistinguishable from like real customer service based here in the United States.
And I wonder why I'm having like panic attacks sometimes, just thinking of the state of the world. Like, that's terrifying, because there's something happening too where you actually call the right number and then somehow they transfer you to scammers. I mean, I'm sure it's all internal people, right? Like there's transferring you externally.
Or somebody's hacked into their system, and when they put you on hold, they immediately take the call away. I don't know.
Be vigilant, everybody.
You know how you do it? You get an RV.
How is that going to help?
And because you're not ever staying.
Oh, because of the hotel.
In a hotel, yeah, you're never staying in a hotel.
You don't think they're doing it with like RV parks and things like
that? I don't care.
Too?
If they tell me, but okay, what's the worst that happens? You show up, you go, hey, there's no RV park. All right.
Is there a ditch?
Is there a Walmart? Because there's a nice big parking lot there, right? Like I'll pull this thing into anywhere. I don't care.
Oh, I mean, that's a good point. That's a valid point. Yes. Speaking of annoying things, so Paul needed to get.
Hold on a second. Hold on. There's a good comment here. Please. This is a great comment. James says, U.S. customer service, immediate red flag.
Yeah.
That's fair. That is very fair. Good point.
Yep.
Good point,
Not
James.
wrong.
Yep.
It's an anomaly.
Yep.
That is for sure. So Paul was starting to get phone shamed for how old his phone was. And it was starting to do weird things. He couldn't access certain sites. Like, it was just too old, so he had to get a new phone. Now, when
Look at me. I didn't say anything.
You did. That was because
Said he couldn't access certain sites, and I'm just like,
not those kinds of
Yeah,
sites.
okay.
Well, maybe, but not primarily.
right.
So when I got my phone, I was able to buy it from Costco unlocked, meaning I could just take it to whatever carrier and hook it up, and it was fine. Well, they don't do that anymore. But I got a really good deal when I bought it from Costco, and I got free Apple Care. So
Nice.
I went to the Costco website, and they give you a phone number. Call this phone number and find out what your cost would be to get a phone through us. So he calls the phone number. I am not kidding you. He was on the phone for 39 minutes. 39 minutes just trying to find out how much would this phone cost me with my current plan. And they made him like do all these things on his phone. I mean, it felt so scammy to me. They're like sending him codes and he's entering them into websites and stuff. And I'm like, this is just to get the price of the phone. Then they finally, after 39 minutes, give him the price of the phone, which was ridiculously low. And they're like, I'm sending you the email right now. You need to accept it. And it's like, no, we're not doing this right now. We're not buying this phone right now. And they were very much pressuring. And he didn't, because what they want you to do is they if you read the fine print, they move you up to a different service level. So yeah, the phone's really cheap, but now you're paying 3 times as much every month for your bill. But they don't tell you that. And they're very evasive when you ask that direct question. And it was so sketchy. We just went to Apple's website and bought the phone and just had him send it. But it was awful. I was like, just hang up. Like, this is not, whatever discount we're about to get, it is not worth it.
First of all, the last time we bought our iPhones, it was the iPhone 14. And it was the first time I ever just bought the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because, you always, like, you just grew up and everything was always, well, you pay extra a month and they give you the phone and you just pay for okay. I mean, I'm old enough, and so are you, to remember when it was just included. Like, if you signed up for like the $40 a month plan, you got a free phone.
I
well,
miss
that
my
changed.
Razor flip phone so much.
That changed right about after the Razor time. It changed when the smartphones came out, and they started getting up into like $700-800. So, but what they did then, the switch was, obviously, I'm telling this like our people don't know this, but for the youngins, then the switch was, well, you're still buying the phone, but you're going to buy it from us, and you're going to pay. So we're only going to charge you like $40 a month or $50 a month, but you're going to pay for the phone over time anyway. But so the last time I just bought the phone, and I'm like, I'm not paying it. So I loved it. But you're right. I bought it directly from Apple. Mm-hmm. You cannot do that anymore. Well, you can still buy directly from Apple, but you have to select a phone carrier.
Yep.
Because the carriers went ape shit that people were able to buy, especially on Apple, because you could do it for there's no interest. If you have an app, if you put it on your Apple card, you don't pay a penny of interest if you pay it off in like a year. Mm-hmm. And so everyone's like, well, why would I go through the phone company to do that? And then I can just drop the phone company anytime I want, right? There's no pressure. If I don't like them, I can just leave. Yeah. So Apple got in. I think they just got a lot of pressure. They do not do that anymore. You have to select a carrier. Now, I don't think you have to stay with that carrier because you have not signed up, but you have to go through the process of, registering the phone through the carrier and all blah, blah, blah. And it's a pain in the butt.
It is.
Yeah. So that's what happened the last time I got mine. But I just recently had to deal with my phone, by the way. I have for years paid, what do you pay a month at like Sprint or, T-Mobile? Oh. Insane level, right? It was like, for the 2 phones, it was like $260
I think
a
ours
month,
is
maybe
$30 a month for both our phones.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I kept watching all the commercials for these like like Mint and all these other ones. And I'm like, I ain't doing that. That's stupid. And then right about the time I had these phones, I'm like, well, why wouldn't I do that? Like, what's like in my brain? I'm like, well, what's the reason you don't? There isn't one. There is like no good reason whatsoever, right? Like, I can't imagine You don't get better phone calls. You don't get better. They say, well, maybe the data, if the network is clogged, you get priority data. Well, I'm on my, first of all, I don't go where there's a lot of people. So I'm okay with that. But also I'm on my Wi-Fi most of the time. So a network data clog doesn't mean anything to me. And so I signed up, I had to use Mint. And so I paid like $230 for the year and I never see another bill. Yeah. It's insane. If you want a code, I got a code.
All right. We're going to talk afterwards.
Yeah. I think I don't know how that works. I think I get something if you sign up for Mint.
I hope you do.
I don't know. Whatever. It keeps telling me to invite people using my code. I don't know why. Forget. So anyway, even though Ryan Reynolds, you still have to deal with seeing his face, on your.
Well, it's not like he's calling you, so I feel like you're fine.
I feel like he's called me a time or two.
That'd be amazing, kind of.
I think it's AI Ryan Reynolds.
Of course it is.
Okay, but anyway,
in the hospital. Yeah.
I had to go to. I had to deal with T-Mobile because my business hotspot router is a T-Mobile router. They have the best price for just data. Most places don't like to do just data. So anyway, Nicole, I was on the phone. First time I called them, it was an hour on hold.
No.
On hold. I never talked to anybody. Second time I called them, it was about 35 minutes on hold. I explained everything to the first person. I told this same story 4 different times. So I told the story to the person and they're like, well, we need to get, you have to have your PIN code. I'm like, I don't have a PIN code because I don't have a phone. Like the phone number here that I'm about to give you is not attached to a phone. I can't sign up through your website app. I can't sign up through your app because when I try, it says this is not a foot register. I know it's not. So I don't have the PIN. So I had to go back and forth and I had to tell this to every person. It was a 2-minute conversation every time. And then they had to send me a code so they could send it to my email address on the account. I'm like, yes. So I got to the last person. I'm like, can you just send me the email? No. And then he has to go through. It was like a 5-minute conversation about give me your, I'm like, don't have it. It's attached to a phone. It's not this isn't an actual phone. You can't text the phone because it's not a phone. It's a hotspot router. It was 2 hours. The second time was 2 hours after I talked to everybody. Now I did get what I wanted fixed at the end. So they basically had to send me they sent me a new SIM card and I popped it in. It worked. That's
unbelievable.
But my point, I actually had a point. Oh yeah. My point is, why is it in the year 2026, every single time you have to deal with an actual person that works at a phone company? I'm talking if you go into the Verizon store, you go into the T-Mobile store, you go into whatever, you just need to, can you guys check this on my phone? Whatever it is, minimum of an hour. And then if you're buying a phone, for some reason that process, I can do it online in 10 minutes. But for some reason, when you have to go into the store and you got to sit down, next to the kid who's got to pull it up. And
he's got his little iPad where he's entering everything in.
That takes an extra hour. Every time, every single time. How is that still a thing in 2026? How do I not walk in, give them my card, they give me the phone, beep, beep, scan, beep, 3 scans, I'm out of there. How is that not a thing?
I genuinely have no idea. Especially with how easy it is to hook up a phone now. Like, Dan, all we had to do was set the new phone next to the old phone. You had to scan one little thing.
Yeah.
And it just moved everything. I was in shock at how easy it was.
Apple makes that really. Apple is.
They
fantastic.
really do.
That's why I love Apple. Like they just, they just make everything real easy and everything works well. I need a file on my computer. It's on my phone. Beep boop. Share. Boom. Done.
Yep.
Now I don't have to download third party anything. It's all. I love Apple products. I just do. But
I wonder if there's some sort of theory. The longer you're in a store, the more you'll spend. Like, do they think you're going to just decide? I mean, they hard upsell. I stopped going into the AT&T store because every time they wanted us on like the highest paid plan, unlimited data, unlimited this, unlimited. I'm like, I'm not paying that much.
AT&T, you're being an AS&S.
Yeah, you are. So I've just stopped going into the store. And if they have to be called, I mean, you remember when they blocked me when I had to call about my television.
That's right.
Oh, just the bane of my existence.
There's just nothing worse than knowing you have to call a customer service number, is there?
Oh,
Like
it gives me dread. I
every time.
literally avoid it as long as I possibly can. And then I'm like, well, I guess we're going in.
I will say this, the city there was a water bill issue that I had, that, they said, hey, so the next bill I got was like double, and they're like, you didn't pay the last. I'm like, well, hell, it's auto pay. So yes, I did. And then I called the lady, and I was gearing up, you know what I mean? Cause you're like, oh, gotta call a damn city worker. How is this going to go? And I'm going to sit here on hold while one ring, she answered the phone.
Whoa.
The person who was going to help me, so-and-so. I'm like, hey, my name is this. And she says, I'm showing here. I got, a double bill here. And it said, before my sentence was over, she goes, oh, no, I see right on there. It's, shows you paid it. It shows it was deducted. She goes, that was just, I don't know why, but that just somehow glitched out. She goes, it's taken care of. If that happens again, let me know. And we'll dig into that a little further.
Did you just...
1 minute. It was 1 minute, probably even less than a minute. I'm like, damn it. I just want to yell at her for something like, you're too good. You suck. You're too good.
I was ready to yell. I need to yell at you for something.
I was losing my mind. And she's like, she was really good. And the last time I went into the DMV here in Wisconsin.
Really good experience?
Both times I've gone in since I moved here. Both
Wow.
experiences have been fantastic. I was in and out. I got plates on one of the trips, and I got my new driver's license when we first moved back here. Less than 20 minutes in the entire building. Like you walk in and there's they say, what are you here for? I'm here to renew my driver's license. Are you have a Wisconsin driver's license? Nope, it's from Illinois. Okay, so do you have this document, this, or this? You're like, yep. Okay, Windows 6. And you did go in and there was somebody at Windows 6 and they just helped you and you walked out, and it was like, it was fantastic.
Did you walk out kind of in a daze?
Yes.
What just happened?
Like every joke about the DMV, every joke about how terrible it is. Yeah, it was great.
Oh, now you could put I don't know if Wisconsin can, but in Illinois, you could put your driver's license on your phone.
Yeah,
now?
you can't in Wisconsin.
Oh, you can. I just did it. It's very easy to do. And apparently it works at TSA.
Yeah.
I can just blip my phone and away I go.
Well, although I can do that, like now they have the, somehow it's like the last time I flew, I didn't even take out my driver's license. I don't know how they did that.
Oh, they're just taking your picture, right?
Well, I guess, but are they eye scanning? I don't know what they're doing, but like they knew who you were. They knew.
I'm telling you, Dan,
license out.
I'm not ready for where the world is heading. I'm just not. It's not going to be okay.
Well, I mean, look at it this way. You got 30 more years of it, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's so nice to be back. Dan, I missed you, even though I suck and I didn't wish you a happy birthday.
Missed you too, and I missed all of our commenters and our people watching and everything. And, thank you to those who tuned in. And then, of course, Wednesday is when the actual podcast drops. I hope you've all have subscribed to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts from, because sometimes even when we don't do a live podcast, like on video, we still drop podcasts on the podcast page. So make sure you're subscribed there too.
Yes, absolutely. And we will be back next Monday with a whole lot of new content, and God only knows what's going to happen between now and then. The world might be taken over by AI. I mean, I think we're knocking on the door. But we thank you all so very much for joining us for episode 146. We'll see you on Monday.
Still spinning.